Uh, it's our first Sabbath of the year. This is the very first Sabbath that marks the beginning of this year, 2025. Today, I thought of something that actually I should share with you so that maybe you can also share with another person else. Like I tell you, you tell a friend, to tell a friend, to tell a friend, and the circle continues. Now, there is this verse in the Bible. Actually, to me, it is a stronghold. It is a foundation of this year that it actually depicts now the importance of the impact of God's presence in our lives as Christians or as a human being. The love of God to us actually it's a big privilege. This is one of the biggest privileges that we find in our lives. So there is this book, that is Exodus 33, verses 14 and 15, that actually talks about the God's presence in our lives. Now, God is speaking to Moses, and in their conversation, as they continue to converse, now Moses tells God that without your presence, we will not go to wherever you're directing us to go. Whatever destination you want us to reach, we will not go without your presence. And therefore, Moses is seeking God's presence to be with them so that he can lead them, he can take lead in their journey. We all know about the journey in the wilderness that took the very many times when Israelites came from Egypt and as they were heading to the promised land. Now, in the process of the journey, Moses is provoking God's presence and he is telling God that if you won't go with us, if your presence won't lead us, and then we will not go to wherever you want us to go. So Moses is calling God's presence. Moses is calling God in their lives, in their journey, so that at least God lead them, God take the lead, and they come from behind. And even from the behind, God has to come from behind them, so that at least they are in the middle, they are protected all around. Now, God, hearing God's pray or hearing God's request, now, God tells them in chapter 14 that I will go with thee. My presence will be ever with thee. And therefore, I came to a certain theme that no God, the theme says, no God, no soldier on. Like the Israelites through Moses said that without God they cannot continue with their journey. So no God, no soldier on. And therefore I want to challenge you so that at least you can also challenge another person that this year, this can be a foundation that we are starting this year. It can build a strong foundation for our plans, for our lives, for everything, whatever plan we have in life. Now it can be that without God there is no success. So I challenge you that you have to let God take lead. You have to prioritize God actually in whatever plans that you've made as a human being. That this year, as we start up this January, that God may take lead from January till the end year, that is December. So let us prioritize God. Let us give God time. Let us give God time so that God can take lead. Let us give God time in our jobs. Let us give God time in our families. Let us give God time in every plan that we make in life. Let us give God time in our schooling and our learning process. Let us give God time in everything that we do, wherever we walk, wherever we rest, wherever we sleep, in whatever we do. Let God take lead. Send God before thee and tell God, Father, go before me in this work, go before me in this plan, go before me in my family, go before my wife, go before my husband, go before my beautiful sons and daughters, go before my relatives, go before my friends. Don't forget to tell God to go before your enemies. Remember, there is also a verse in the Bible that says that a good relationship with God, we as Christians, when we build a good relationship with God, actually that one will make even our enemies to be at peace. Now, this one also tells us that as we allow God to take lead in our lives, we have actually to build a strong and good relationship. Our rapport between God should be that which glorifies God's name. Because our enemies are looking at us. They are looking at what is the relationship between me and my God. So if the relationship is good, actually, even them, they will be at peace. They will be brought to peace. They can even yearn to copy from you, though you are their enemies. Now, friends, I want to challenge you. This is the very first Sabbath. We have so many Sabbaths that are coming, subsequent Sabbaths that are coming after this. So I'm challenging you that let God lead to our churches in church leadership. The leaders that are chosen, let God lead through you. Don't take it as if you're leading with your own might, with your own power, with your own knowledge and your own wisdom. No. That is a big no. So let God take lead. Let God lead through you. You should humble yourself as you exalt God to be so high in you. You should decrease as God increases in you, so that whatever people are going to see in your leadership is God, not you. Is wisdom and knowledge from God, not your own wisdom and knowledge. So our church leadership, let us give God time in our leadership, in our petitions, in everything, in thanksgiving. We should sacrifice our own heart. Remember, our souls, our hearts are the holy sacrifice that we can give to God, because God stays in our hearts. So let God take lead, as he promised Moses that I will go with you. I'm very sure that this year God will go ahead of us. For the youths, for the Gen Zs who are in search of job, there are no jobs. But trust you me, that this year, when you allow God to take lead in your search of job, I promise you, you will get that job. For those who are so worried about what they will eat tomorrow, what they will put on tomorrow, there is also a verse in there. I cannot put the verse, but it says that why are we worried about what we'll eat tomorrow, what we'll put on tomorrow? Is life not important more than food and clothing? So let us make God to take lead. Let us allow God to take lead in our lives. By then, we will be victors of this year. Actually, this year, 2025, it should be a year of blessings, a year of wonders, and a year of miracles. And we will be able to see the mighty powers of God in our lives. We'll be able to meet God in each and every point that we should. In all our life plans, God should take lead. May God bless you. Even as you prepare, even as you allow God to take lead in your life, may God bless you, and may open up the ways, may open up the blessing doors, that He may bless us abundantly every day, every morning, every evening, that you may take lead, that we may not shed more blood this year, that we may not cry, we may not scream this year, that actually everything may be in accordance into His will. May God bless you even as we come to the closure of the first Sabbath. May God be with you. I pray for peace. I pray for blessings. I pray for God's guidance in your life. Amen.